Hey, I am Jessica Nicole McLaurin,
And I'm Michael McLaurin.
and welcome to Free Friday. That's FFRE for Faith, Finance, and Real Estate. Last week we talked about there's purpose in the wait. Tonight we are talking about there's
Refining in the pause.
refinement in the pause. There's refinement in the pause. So, we were having a conversation earlier tonight, and I almost just want to hand it off to Mike. But I guess that's a little unusual for how we do it. I'll say a few words and then he'll.
Usually you go longer than that.
Well, refinement in the pause.
Yeah.
We're talking about taking a step back. We're talking about when we talk about pause, we're talking about not only taking a step back, but taking a step back for the purpose of in the word of the assignment for our church family, for the purpose of alignment. How about you? Because you had a lot of good stuff to say earlier.
That's why I told you to remember it, because I don't remember. You should have recorded me when I said it earlier. So refinement in the pause, and we was thinking about it, and that's my best friend right there. That's one of my most creative ideas and intellectual ideas come about. But I was thinking about how I'm a handsy man. I like to work with my hands. So if something's wrong with my car, I research it. YouTube, Google, whatever it is, and I find where the parts are. And after I find where the parts are, I get it and I try my best to match it to what I plan on replacing, and then I proceed to try to replace it. Well, if you're anything like me, sometimes the people on YouTube where you see a 15-minute, 20-minute video, and you're like, oh yeah, this take me 15, 20 minutes. But then when you get into the nuts and bolts of the matter, then you realize that 20-minute thing now has taken you 4 hours and you still haven't completed the task. So when I was thinking about refinement and the pause, sometimes you got to take a step back and reevaluate and relook at what you're doing, looking at that task. Maybe you missed something. Maybe there's an alternative way. Maybe what you was researching and looking at, it wasn't the exact thing that fit your situation. It was similar but wasn't exact. So now you need to go further into your research. And just like that old stubborn mechanical issue that you was having, that you was trying to do the repair for, sometimes it's necessary to take a step back and reevaluate what you're doing and really try to see what's going on. And to make that applicable to everyday life, you may be working on something, you may be doing something, it may be good, but sometimes you got to take a step back before you can reach that next level. You got to relook at what you did well, what didn't go so well, what's the feedback, what you could have done better, things like that, to try to visualize your next steps, if any. The pause may mean that, okay, you've done all that you were supposed to do that time, like doing a mechanical repair. You done got to the point to where you may have to call a professional and take it to a shop. And sometimes you got to really be honest with yourself and see exactly where you are. And refinement in the pause is key to your success. Is very conducive to your success, because there is, how did I say
it? Yeah, let me help him out.
Yeah.
So what he said earlier was during that refining period, in the pause, that's a moment where you can take a step back and evaluate whether what you are doing is even conducive to your success at all. And is it conducive to your success in a way of it being a stretch or a strain. Nothing wrong with being stretched, but is it more of a strain? Are you straining, you know, or are you in alignment with God's purpose?
Yeah.
I was reading something, and it was just so good. And and it was just simply saying, it was talking about from the standpoint of, is it in alignment with God's purpose or alignment with crowd expectations? And what led to me reading that was, I was just looking up scriptures about how Jesus was still away to be by himself, and that part came up. But anyway, oftentimes Jesus would steal away to be by himself, and sometimes he would take the disciples with him, or maybe just less than a handful of disciples, you know, so that they could steal away, get rest, pray. And that's what refinement in the pause makes me think about. Stealing away in private, and allowing there to be communion with God, real communion with God. And like Mike said earlier, and really even like what we said last week, allowing him to change our perspective if needed, if something needs to shift in our mental, if something needs to shift in our doing, if something needs to shift in our being, but allowing space for a change from the inside out, because it's not just about the external and what we're doing, but it's about the internal and how we see a thing, think about a thing. It's a heart issue, a heart matter. So yeah, allowing there to be true refinement in the pause, that we can be better people again from the inside out.
So that stretching, like stretching is good. Like you don't want to overstretch, but stretching is good because you're stretching in your faith, you're stretching in your mind, you're stretching in your emotions, even in your own abilities to do a thing, you're stretching. I think about working out. Like stretching is good. Stretching your muscle, especially after a good workout, after you done torn them down, like that's good. It relaxes them. It gets them loose. Because if you don't, you know, you wake up a little bit more sore than what you originally would the next day, and it's like, oh man, because I didn't stretch. But if you strain while you're working out, the potential of injury is greater. And that means you can hurt yourself a whole lot more. So that's even in doing the things of God and the things that you're tasked with. If you're straining to do those things, you risk burnout, you risk fatigue, you risk resentment, envy, and all those things that aren't good when you straining with a thing. So like you're forcing yourself to do something, like you're tugging. But a stretch is good, because a stretch, you can stretch and then you come back to yourself and it's stronger. It's you pull and you stretch. But a strain, you increase your chance of being out of position for what God really has for you to do. So sometimes it's a great thing to take yourself out of what you're doing and pause for a second and just look at and evaluate what you're doing, and allowing yourself to shift, giving yourself grace to shift, allowing yourself the mercy to bow before the Father and be like, okay, Lord, am I doing this right? I feel like I am, but is it time to put this on the shelf and go do something else? Is it time to put this on the shelf for a minute and pick it back up? Is it time to put this on the shelf and allow someone else to pick it up? And you have to be open to all of that, because it is not our will, but thy will be done. So if we're living for him, then we got to get out of our own ways, and we have to obey what the Father says and what he says do, and be obedient to that thing, whatever that thing is. I don't know what that thing is for you, but whatever that thing is, you have to be obedient to it. If he told you to start a business, you need to be obedient to it. And if you started a business and it's not going well, it may mean that you need to keep going. It may mean that you need to pause for a second and figure out what is your operations. What are you doing? Why aren't you as successful as you want to be? And then come back, and you know how you got the grand opening, and then you shut down for a second, and then you have the re-grand opening where you're better, you're greater, because you done figured some things out, and now you done reopen, and now you can bring in business like you want to. You got an outpouring and an overflowing of customers and whatever you want, because you took the step and you maybe did some remodeling, did some marketing, or whatever you did, and now you're greater than ever. Sometimes there is a need for a refining process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, and not sometimes.
Yep.
And I think in everything there's a need for a refining process. It's just a matter of when. I think about that scripture in Ecclesiastes. There's a time for everything.
Yep.
There's a season for every activity.
It is.
I say that to say there is always a refining moment. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
So, you got anything else?
No, ma'am.
Because you know where I'm going.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Not that. Sure.
With that said, and you may be having a harder time with it than I am. But what?
Nothing.
With that said, we are going to take a pause from Free Friday. And I remember I started this believing God led me to start it to inform, to encourage, and then Mike joined me beginning top of last year, so I was
voluntold.
But he joined me all last year and through this year, with some moments where there was a pause, unintentionally. Yeah. But this is an intentional pause for refinement, and we don't know how long, but this is our pause. So, I can truly say, and I'll speak for myself, I have enjoyed this. And I thank God for every person. Why do you laugh?
Nothing. Keep going.
I thank God for every person who has supported.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much. Because here's the deal. It's not about us. It's never been about us. It's for us, a ministry platform. So thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you for receiving when truth was given. And thank you even for applying truth to your lives.
Yeah.
But this is our refining moment. And I would just say personally, it's a refining for my life overall from the inside out. And this is a moment to step back and see if Free Friday is something that God would want us to continue to do and move forward with. Because the last thing we want is for something that started out as a spirit-led thing to continue as a man-desired thing if God is saying let it go, or if he's saying refine it into something else. But do you have anything else?
Well, so I always say when you go into those things, and in your refining process, this is why I was laughing at about, like, you don't have to tell everybody that you're going through your refining process. Sometimes you could just go into your secret room and refine and come back better. I've always heard the best success stories are done when you go into the background, go into the quiet, and then come back out fearless and fierce. So that's why I was looking at, like, you ain't got to tell everybody you're finna go take that back. They gonna see. But no, this has been like fun. It's been enjoyable. I was a little hesitant when Jessica first asked me to join. Admittedly, there is some reserved because I do enjoy these videos. Sometimes it's a push. Sometimes it's a stretch, maybe a strain. uh, but I do, and the biggest thing that I enjoy is the feedback. How you all are blessed by the videos. People that we don't even know that are blessed by them are blessed by them, and that for me is the biggest thing because that's what we're here to do. That's the purpose, is to make sure that at least one person watching, at least one, is blessed, is moved, is inspired, is encouraged, is motivated, is informed about something that we said. And for me, that's the greatest joy that I give God glory for, is that, Lord, you allowed us to impact at least one person by our video. And that's always my prayer, is that when people encounter me, when they encounter us, that they see God, that they see Jesus, that we are the light of the world, and that as we go into dark places, we light them up, and people are transformed because of our presence. That's always my prayer. So this platform has never been about us, and yeah, I follow her lead because this is her baby, so to speak. So whatever she wants and desires and what she feels like she is hearing from God, I don't go against, because God is the ultimate head of our household. So if she feel like God is saying pause, then we're pausing. Because like I said, this is her baby. I enjoy it. I might start getting on myself, but I got so much stuff going on that I really don't think about social media like that and posting my own personal videos. And then it's just more fun doing it with my baby. So, but no, this may be for now. Who knows? But we're leaning and listening to the voice of God as to next steps and even how to make it better. So, no, I am in agreement. I always got to give her a hard time because that's just what we do.
That's all day, every day.
It is. It is. I wouldn't be me if I didn't. That's why she give me the funny looks. It wouldn't be her if she didn't do that, and I appreciate it. So, love all y'all, like from the bottom of my heart. I thank you all. I thank you all. I thank you all, and I just pray God's best for you all.
Amen.
Yep.
As always, keep pushing forward, and we'll talk to you later.